All right, people. So yesterday, let me see. We done got about a day and a half of rain, and I feel like I live at the train depot because every time I get started, here come the freight train. But I'm just really just coming out here to check on this stuff. I'm gonna post that sweet potato harvest video. I ain't gonna lie, I've been leaving my sweet potatoes out here. It ain't been cold. It ain't been too cold. It's actually been, today is 68, 67. I don't know. It's hot. But well, I shouldn't say hot, but it's nice. But yeah, I'm just checking everything. So naturally, because it rained, I need to go back there and get my BT. Technically, should these butterflies be in? Yeah, technically, but it's 67 or 68. So you know these bugs have not gone in. There's the main bug right there. Hey, baby. Chrissy. He not gonna look at us. He getting over here so he can rub up against my legs. Don't be rubbing up against my legs. That's exploitation. You got to pay to touch me. So get these yellow leaves off while I can. That's what I was out here doing a little early when I was looking over stuff. But it looks very, very lush. If anybody wants me to do a video on well, no. Let me say this. Y'all, don't be thinking just automatically y'all can do what I do. And what I mean is this. A lot of y'all have comments. Ooh, your garden is still looking so good. And you're right, it is. It looks beautiful. Beautiful. But y'all, don't just automatically think you can do this like this. This is the way I garden is very much so a risk. And I have told people that before. But a lot of y'all see me doing it and see me doing it at least with some level of success. And you feel like, Chrissy, where you going? And you feel like, I don't know. I think sometimes I make stuff look too easy, which I'm not saying this is actually not hard. Y'all, our winter hasn't been that cold so far. We've only had 2 freezing nights. I showed y'all the nights where I covered and I showed you where I uncovered. If you have not seen those videos, if you're new to my channel, first of all, thank you for subscribing, because I can't believe I'm gaining subscribers in the wintertime. I usually never gain. I usually lose subscribers in the wintertime. But, y'all, I think I make it look too easy. And I'm not necessarily saying it's hard, but it's not easy either. So let's say it's in the middle, because it's a combination of things. I have to work. So if I know it's only going to get to like 30 degrees, like the other night it got to 31. I didn't cover none of this because of the way it's set up. And if you don't understand what I mean by that and microclimates and things of that nature, if you don't have your stuff in black tires like this, it may not always work for you like this. Y'all have to understand the sheer amount of heat that these tires, the sun coming from up there, shine down here onto the tires. You have to understand the sheer amount of heat this absorbs throughout the day. And then you also have to have weather to cooperate with you. And I've gotten lucky so far. Now, my luck, I'm sure, is going to run out at some point. Y'all, I don't think I'm going to have this stuff all the way through till the spring. If I did, that's going to be miraculous, and we've had a fairly hot summer. Because usually in January, February, March, we get something where the weather basically don't cooperate with me. Like it stays too cold too long, or it's very cold and then it rains as well. That won't work either, because if it's too cold and rain, your stuff will freeze up on you. So I've just been lucky, y'all. So I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying if you are going to do it, and what? Oh, that's a ladybug. Okay, but your little wing is like a bird. I don't know what happened. But anyway, look at him. Sir, Chrissy, don't turn your ear. Y'all see him turning his ear? Chrissy, baby, why are you laying in the shade? You could be sunbathing. Is it too hot for you? Okay, well, you lay wherever you want. I fed you, so you and your brother have eaten. So you guys shouldn't have anything to complain about. All the animals have been fed and watered. Oh, I feel like I live on a farm, except for my animals just suck resources up. They don't create any. But anyway, but yeah, y'all. So I'm not saying that you can't try it, but I'm just saying that's why when people get to talking that trash, because I done had 2 or 3 people, try to come at me. Oh, the tires and the toxicity, but yet they growing in stuff that's made in China. Okay, it's and I've already done a video on all that stuff too. But like I said, you have these people who want to test you and try you. They don't want to try it themselves. They just want to come on the internet, confront somebody and tell them that what they're doing is wrong. But they haven't videoed the first. Child, don't get me on my soapbox about that there. But yeah, y'all. So I'm not saying it's not doable. Just understand that you're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to do. That rain reinvigorated that. Well, it got rained on and messed up, and I see they building it back. I got to be careful. I got to stand back. But I want to show y'all this. Y'all see that radish in there is looking beautiful. And like I said, these tires will help you if you got a sunny spot. And it's winter. I think a lot of people in colder climates may not understand exactly what they can get away with. Now, let me explain when I say colder climates. I don't mean you get 8 feet of snow. I ain't talking about you. I'm sorry, your weather conditions, you just have to live with it. It is what it is, but it's okay. Grow when you can grow. It's all right. It's all right. But let's say you live in a place where it's cold, but maybe you don't really get that much snow. Set you up some tires or something that's going to be your best bet. Because like I said, if you put it in a sunny location, the sun beats on it all day, it'll warm it up. If it gets kind of chilly that night, it'll kind of help you. It'll probably help save you stuff. The soil is going to stay warmer, therefore those roots are going to stay warmer, therefore those plants. Like I said, and I'm not talking about so you can grow peppers. I ain't talking about that. I got peppers out here because, like I said, I live in a climate where I can do that. And when you can do. I keep trying to tell y'all. When you can do. Press the envelope. I'm waiting to see some people that live in colder climates, especially black folks. I'm not seeing it. I'm waiting on some people in colder climates to show people what we can get away with. Now, I'm not saying if this is your livelihood to base your livelihood on that. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is experiment sometime. Sometimes, you never know. You may plant something, didn't think it was going to do too good, and you fool around and get a bumper crop. Y'all see this kush out still here. Got some damage on it. See those leaves there? Burn up. That was, I think that was the 31-degree night. They burn up, but look over here. See where it's more leaves? Microclimate. You see what I'm saying? Stuff will show you your microclimates and where they are. See how a lot of this stuff is all bunched up? You don't hardly see no damage. It's some here, though. And that leaf, I don't know why it's flipped that way. I can't believe that okra made it through 30 and 31. I don't. This okra ain't dead either. It ain't got no leaves on it, but it ain't dead. Actually, I'm lying. No, it don't. It don't really. Yes, it do. It got a branch. Branch coming off at the bottom. That's one of the leaves, but it's damaged. It's probably gonna die out, y'all, but I'm not disturbing it too much because all that garlic in there. Y'all see all that garlic, all those little spears sticking up? So a lot of this I'm not gonna damage too bad. I'm not gonna fool with too bad because I don't want to start fooling with those garlic roots and fool with that and mess up the production of my garlic. I don't want to slow my garlic down. Hey, it's the chemistry. Oh, you jamming. Hey. That sucker got gremlin tags on it too. But anyway, let me see. So, if we get cold enough, I don't anticipate protecting this bed. I'm just gonna let all of this kush out, all of it just die down where it's at. And it's gonna those peanuts, I may or may not harvest the peanuts. I have not harvested the big peanuts. I told you I was gonna show y'all back there. I did harvest some peanuts in the back. And I had a few peanuts. I had a few, maybe, I didn't dig too deep because my crocuses was in it. See, sometimes you don't need to plant like me because sometimes I can't even harvest properly. But like I told y'all, I'm not really growing the peanuts to get peanuts. I'm growing them to enrich the soils so that I don't have to do so much crop rotation. Y'all see these beans right here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more beans up there. I'm going to cover this bed like I did that bed over there. Those beans haven't come up yet. I got some garlic coming up over there. Now, y'all remember I planted garlic in places. Like those are some onion, that lone one. It's some onion that has come up. See, remember all that garlic I planted? You can see some green coming up in there. There's one down in there. So y'all just be anticipating and looking for these blocks around the edge to start appearing with garlic. Over here too, I planted a bunch of garlic over there in those spots. Like those little holes all around the edge. I planted onion and garlic. I don't know what's gonna come up and what ain't. That's kind of a wait and see kind of thing. And if I change my mind, then I change my mind. But right now is the time when, if you've already planted your garlic, it'll start naturally coming up. That's one of the reasons why I advocate for, when it comes to garlic and onions, go ahead and plant them, with the exception of onion seeds. I ain't talking about that. But if you got sets or something, I advocate for go ahead and plant them, because they will come up when they're ready on their own, without your intervention. There's less you have to do. So, in the efforts of, or in the idea of work smarter, not harder, those are some things that I try to bestow upon y'all to try to. And I've been working and got your emails and things. Today is Friday. Been working, got y'all emails and things, and working to pack up your stuff and work on getting the stuff out next week. Ain't this pear tree pretty? You don't get a lot of orange out of the pear tree leaves. You get a lot of yellow. But that yellow contrasts with the color of that bark is pretty to me. But anyway, this pepper here is trying to bloom and make some peppers. That's some of those long, sweet red, like I said, that grocery store pepper. This is them same tomatoes. Ain't covered them now time. This spot is really not a good spot for really anything, because all these trees, especially this big oak, this becomes a mass of roots. The longevity spinach doesn't seem to care that it gets full of roots. Longevity spinach actually grows kind of like a tree. I guess it just mines and go down and get what it needs. It say, I ain't special, just plant me. But here, from now on, no annuals here. What's going to go here, or I have those small baby citrus back there in those pots I have back there. So I'll leave the longevity spinach, and I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have 5 tires. These will stay here, but I'm going to plant those fruit trees here. The thought pattern in that is that because it itself is a fruit tree as well, it won't really care. I may have to feed them a little bit more, and I know that oak is still going to put roots up in there and get some of the nutrition, but it is what it is. I can't cut out every tree on my property, and I refuse to do so. Even if I had the money to do so, I wouldn't cut down every tree. It's too much. And I'm going to show you over here where, do not underestimate that tree or that cluster of trees, right over in here where I have citrus already growing. That kumquat and also my navel orange over in there are growing. It's roots all in here, y'all. It's roots all in here. But it's trees. It's just like a forest. Trees and a forest with other trees. So they're friends. And so, they do what they need to do. I need to feed those citrus probably a little more. I don't know if that soil over there is acidic as it probably wants it. I'll do that too. It's some things you have to do to amend around specific ones. But it won't be like this here, where I tend to plant stuff, and almost everything I plant over here struggles, with the exception of longevity spinach. If you have a tree heavy area and you want a leafy green, because keep in mind, longevity spinach was in my gumbo syrup that I made. You cook it or eat it raw. You can do one of the two. They say if you eat too much of it raw, you get too much oxalic acid. Is it oxalic? Whatever it is in it. But y'all, you got to eat a garbage bag full of stuff like in one sitting to do that. Y'all not finna do that. So I don't even know why people even bring up stuff like that. Because, well, people just read stuff. They don't understand that there's a concentration of something that you have to eat in order to be poisoned. For instance, groundwater can have, per the EPA's regulations, a certain amount of arsenic in it. That's because you can actually eat a certain amount of arsenic and it will not kill you. It's a very small amount. And I'm not going to tell you what the amount is. It's a very small amount that you can eat. It won't kill you. But if you get over those levels, that's when the concentration is too high and then you start having adverse effects. So once again, y'all be careful what you read, because the devil is in the details. I done told you that a million times. These are the crocuses. Y'all see all that little grass like stuff? These are some cannas. I'm gonna dig them up out of there. I think I'm gonna end up putting those cannas in the ground over there, because those cannas you can't hardly, and with the cannas it's gone. Well, the cannas, they don't care nothing about the tree roots. They don't care nothing about the condition of the soil. They were growing poor soil. I really just dug them up out of my neighbor's yard because she didn't want them. Dug them up out of my neighbor's yard and planted them just kind of in some little nurse, what I call little nurse places. I got another one over there. Let me get these gojies out of here because I need to start. I got some gojies I got to send out. But anyway, and those cannas are going to become chop and drop. So I am, and they also make a pretty flower on them too. But I am very much so, take these out of here. I don't want them sitting in too much water. I don't want them to drown. So y'all be careful if you do that. It rained on me a day and a half. So that's a bit much on the water. When I send y'all these gojies, I'm going to give you some directions because they're probably going to be dormant when you get them. You see the leaves turning yellow on me. These do go dormant. They are deciduous. So when I send them to you, don't think they're dead if all the leaves fall off. I'm probably not going to purposely take the leaves off. I might, because I don't want them losing a lot of, but the leaves are yellow anyway, so they're probably not losing much because they're not fully doing photosynthesis, so they're not fully losing. You see how, don't listen to my scientific brain. I have to talk through things too. But yeah, when I send the gojies, if there are not many leaves or the leaves fall off, don't worry. They're dormant. They're not dead. And if you do have an issue with it, I still have the plants or something. You know, I can work on getting you another one. But you should be good. Those should have really nice root systems. And when I start packing those up, when I dump them out, I'll show y'all and try to show y'all what the root systems look like. I had a pot that was waterlogged. One of the holes got clogged up. Always check your containers, y'all. If I hadn't checked that container, everything in there would have died because it would have drowned. Roots need water, but they also need a little bit of air as well, which is why when they're waterlogged, they will drown on you. They're not aquatic. Well, not aquatic plants can do it. They can take the oxygen out of a water molecule. So it's H2O. They take the oxygen away from the hydrogen and do away with it. But that's how they work. But most plants are not like that, i.e. most plants are not aquatic. Everything over here looks good. That guava is actually still growing, and I can't believe these pleurisy roots. The guama cheese look pretty good. They don't love this coldness, but I'm just gonna let them go on. I kind of pinched the tops out of some of them, hoping that they'll branch a little bit. The turmeric is still looking good, and that's why I asked people. Somebody asked for turmeric and ginger. I don't mind sending it to you, but let me harvest it first. But look here. Y'all see how yellow it's looking? See how ragged it's looking? It won't be long. But I try to that's what I want to tell y'all about these roots. Anything you're growing with a rhizome, root crops and things like that, with the exception of beets and some stuff, radishes. Sometimes they get big and then they get spongy and hard on the inside. You don't want that. That's why radishes and beets, you want to kind of get them kind of young. But when it comes to turmeric and ginger and these things that are rhizomes, you want to give them as much time as you possibly can, because you want to let all that energy, see when they start yellowing like that, that's when they're actually pushing the energy into the root. So the whole time they're not pushing energy into the root. Like when they first sprout in the spring, they're actually pushing the energy into the leaves so they can get big, form photosynthesis. And once they perform photosynthesis, they push energy into the roots and wherever it needs to go. If your turmeric is old enough, you can't get to the point where the rhizomes are big enough, the leaves are big enough, and it'll push flowers. That's why you don't get flowers all the time. You ain't got enough roots, you ain't got enough leaves, and you don't have enough to create a flower. But once you get enough of both of them, it'll push energy towards the flower. So plants are very smart in that way. It's just like onions. When onions first start, they don't start making a bulb first. They get a little bitty tiny root down, and then they start pushing leaves. The leaves that do photosynthesis, or the little greens do photosynthesis, push that back down into the root and all that kind of, and you get that kind of stuff. So those are the citruses I told y'all. Gonna go over there. Everything over here looks good. All this stuff has been outside and I ain't been doing nothing to it. All these mulberries, the palms are looking beautiful. I mean, beautiful. I get a nice, can y'all see how pretty that is, how the sun beams over here? That's why, these plants, they do so good right here. And then just beams in my greenhouse. It's beautiful. Sometimes I just sit in the greenhouse. Sometimes I just sit Let me get this dough. Try to open this dough. Oh, y'all, I'm cooking with fish grease. I got it open on the first try without a bunch of foolishness. Y'all see how much it rained? See how wet the floor is? That's the dry spot. All the rest of this is... But I don't mind that water gets on the floor in here. It doesn't bother me because I don't really have nothing on the floor that I care if it gets wet or not. This cat's been in here. See that stuff on the floor right there? That one down there. They be in here just playing with stuff. Y'all, it's slow down hot up in here. It's slow down hot. I'm finna open this door. It's slow down hot up in here. I'm finna get up out of here. But I'm just checking everything. These are gonna potentially go in those tires. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if they're gonna get enough sunlight, y'all. I don't know if I need to do an artificial light. I don't know for what I need to do. Are you still suffering with your dryness? Not really. Y'all just being temperamental. Y'all see this set of papayas? Temperamental. Y'all finna get pulled out of there because I can use that soil. I ain't got time for no crybabies. Look at my soldiers. That's what I'm talking about. I keep soldiers only. This is why you have to talk to the plants or talk around them so that they understand. I'm not playing games. Pick up the program. But I'm gonna open this dough. Let some of this heat out. I may have to come where the wind is blowing, but I may have to come back over here and open that door some more. I want that and I may open the door on the other end because I want that to ventilate. I want it to release. Anyway, let me see. Y'all, I believe that's all I got to show y'all. And, ain't really got much going on out here. I hope y'all had a happy Thanksgiving. I did dig these sweet potatoes, child. I think I got 2 itty bitty little sweet potatoes out of this stuff. Those are some low grocery store sweet potatoes. I took all the vines, buried them up under all this dirt. I haven't buried that yet. My yams I have not dug yet. I'm waiting for them to completely die because, like I said, right now, you see how they're turning yellow? It'll push the energy back down into the tuber down there, and then I'll go ahead and dig that and the turmeric, and this probably be the turmeric that I pull for y'all because I'm just gonna do it all at once. But yeah, y'all, so that's what we got going on. Lamb's quarter, the Peruvian mint is still, let me look around, it's on this other side. The Peruvian mint was still looking good over here. I'm trying to hope it go to seed. It's also called huacate. It's here, but the plant is much bigger. I see it's going to seed. It's finna start. Can y'all see those little things down in there? Almost like when a marigold. This is in a marigold family. It's the only marigold I'm willing to grow. If you don't have huacate or a black mint, a Peruvian mint, look at this here. Didn't I just come through here? No, I come around the back. Okay, that's why I didn't see that. Because I'm looking like I know doggone well I ain't that doggone crazy. So I got to get that limb. When it get real cold one night, I'm going to burn all that stuff back yonder. Child, I'm looking. Let me pay attention. Sometimes you have to pay attention. I'm looking at why the ground is wet right here. This is covered. It shouldn't be wet right there. See how it's dry right there? It's like it jumped over. Maybe it's coming from up under the ground. It's possible. Pay attention to that. I'm just trying to make sure my carport ain't leaking. It ain't. I know. It's still looking good, y'all. I'm finna get ready to seal it now. I got my sealer. I'm not gonna paint it. I'm gonna leave it like that. That wood is too pretty to me to paint, y'all. Ooh, I just have to admit I'm a wood grain fan. At least in that case. Not if it's like a log cabin. I ain't really, Uncle Tom's Cabin scarred me. Don't get me started. Anyway, Believe it or not, my black turmeric, and like I said, I'm leaving this. I got to let them rhizomes get as big as they possibly can, because when I got them, I don't even know if they really had rhizome. I know they had roots. You know, Aisha sent them to me, and they was fine and everything. I don't know if they really had a rhizome or not. So that's why I'm leaving them and letting them do what they're going to do, because that's the second time she sent it to me. The last time I was negligent, and it didn't have enough rhizome. I didn't protect it. I didn't let it at least, because if turmeric just get just a little piece of something in the ground, it'll come back. But if it doesn't get anything in the ground, you're going to be SOL. This broccoli looks so pretty to me. This is sprouting broccoli. That's why I said I get excited. People say what they want, but, you know. And I saw a gardener talking about, and he's a gardener, I respect him. But I won't lie, he's also white, and I think that, you know, I don't think they eat the sheer amount of leafy greens and things that we do. You can look at African culture and look at how much leafy greens. Them suckers will chop up all kind of leaves down and stew stuff down in a minute. He's like, oh, I just can't eat all these different greens and everything. It made me wonder, your wife, how she cooking them. But that ain't none of my business. I just mind my business, because I'm going to be real. Every time I cook some green, white folk get a hold to them, they won't leave me alone. But it's okay. I appreciate it. They just really ain't never had nothing that tastes. You know, I ain't trying to say I'm, a chef. Trust me. But some stuff I'm decent at. And I'm going to be real with you. If you get you some good smoked meat, you ain't even got to be good at cooking, to be quite frank. Because I don't put no salt in my stuff. Y'all saw them greens I made. I didn't put a grain of salt in there. Not one. But if you use good smoked meat products, now, I don't know, y'all trying to make these vegan collard greens, they ain't got nothing in them but some onion and chive. Go right on ahead with that and let me know how they turn out. Because I'm not going to be able to handle them. And I'm not against vegan. It's just, I'm sorry, some stuff just don't season. Like, y'all can use coconut aminos and things. And don't get me wrong, I use coconut amino, but not in stuff like that. But anyway, y'all don't want to hear me rant on and on about that, but I just found that to be interesting. Because I find it interesting when some of these gardeners, they see all these. Because like when white folk come by here, they don't never ask me about the greens. Oh, you got peppers and tomatoes and stuff. You got any beans? They be like, oh, what's them greens? Oh, those are greens. Oh, I don't know how to cook those. I'm trife. I'm trife for that. I am so trife, but hey, it is what it is. This is all I can say. Hey, branch out. Branch out. Branch out. I've even made a pumpkin pie before. So if I can branch out, y'all can branch out. So with that being said, till next time. See you guys later.